a loofah.
What are you doing today, Maureen?
There were 2 loofahs here. I've already started to process one, but they've been sitting here in the sun drying out.
For a year.
In today's video, I want to take you through the process of taking your loofah that you grew and turning it into a soap scrubber, something that's really great for your body for exfoliating.
Mom grew these loofahs last year and they have been sitting in our windowsill ever since, but we're ready to work with them now.
Last year was my first year to grow loofahs. And so one tip that when you are growing loofahs, process them once they are dry. Don't let them sit for another 365 days to dry even more.
Now, some of you may be wondering, well, what is a loofah? Because if you're anything like me, you thought, aren't loofahs found in the sea? Nope, they're actually in the squash family. And I have some here growing. I doubt that they're gonna make it this year because everything was so late. A loofah here is a squash plant and it grows on a vine, has male and female flowers. And here is one here that's of good size. I doubt with our growing season that this will get any bigger. There is a few, they had a hard time getting themselves established this year. I have another plant over there. When the loofah is small, you can eat it, and it's supposed to be similar to a cucumber. And then as it gets larger, it is more like a squash. And then if you let it completely mature and dry out, you're okay. You're okay. You're fine. And then if you let it completely mature and dry out, then you get that fibrous skeleton in the center of it, and that is your scrub brush that you can use for dishes or for your body.
I have this loofah that I grew last year for the first time. Like I said, did not get around to processing it. This one I started to peel last night. The peeling wasn't doing so well, so I did soak it in some water. It's still being worked on, so you know, some of that's gonna end up coming off just from soaking it, but that's looking good. But with this loofah, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut the end, and then
Oh wow.
shake out all the seeds. And if you do hear them, well, this one looks like it's pretty good. These seeds will be great for next year, basically because where these grew, there wasn't other squashes around. So then more than likely, the seeds will be viable. Had there been other squashes, we might not get a loofah as we've seen with other things. And then we're just gonna crack it. I might get you to do it because you're stronger than I am. Trying to crack it as much as we can to break it. Now, the problem is that this has sat for a year, which is why I thought I'll try the water method first. Not so great, but we're gonna try this one just dry. So I'll hand that to you. Yeah, see, she's strong.
It's on my farmer's walks.
Your farmer walks?
My farmer walks.
And then we can try to start peeling it. But I think I'm gonna have the same thing because it's like extra dry. Let me cut
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
I'll just cut that other end off. So it's pulling with these strings. This one, I'm using just a silicone pan scraper and just scraping off the bits now that they've loosened a little bit. So I have put a little bit of bleach in the water. And the great thing is that it just kind of whitens and brightens it. These parts here, this is some mold. So these ones, you know, I would cut around that, use that for dishes or something like that. But it is coming along and those pieces are starting to come off. My loofah is all done, so I've rinsed it all off and then I've just put it on the stem of a wine glass to let it drip dry. So, lesson to learn, when you grow your loofah, peel it right away. Don't store it in a bag because that will create too much moisture. Just keep it where it's gonna be, you know, kind of in a cool, dry place. So, lesson learned, peel it right away. Don't wait because this did take us a long time.
It did.
So we're gonna start with the soap.
Yeah. So we're going to be using a melt and pour base, and we're using a clear glycerin melt and pour base. They do come in other ones where there's shea butter and also goat's milk soap. But this is an easy process where you're not using any extra chemicals. Everything is done for you. And you're not needing to cure your soap afterwards for 30 to 60 days.
Oh.
It's where we can actually use a soap same day as long as it's hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So to start, we have our heat-proof mixing bowl that we're going to use. We are going to do 2 different scents, so we have bowls for this. Additionally, we have a cutting board and a knife that we're going to use. On top of that, we have a spray bottle here of alcohol. The reason why we're using alcohol is this just makes sure that the area is completely sterile that we're putting the soap into, as well as the loofah and soap when we mix them together.
Okay.
And then it also helps remove any excess moisture or anything like that left behind. So I'm just going to go ahead and start by spraying. And then just do a quick wipe off with a piece of paper towel. Clean.
Squeaky clean.
The bricks usually come in about 1 pound to 2 pound, like this. And you do want to cut them into smaller pieces. When you have them in smaller pieces, you don't have to microwave as much and you can stir without having any sort of lumps. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them. This is going to look weird to some people because I am left-handed. And now I'm going to start microwaving it with 30-second intervals. And every single time that I pull it out, I'm going to do a quick little whisk of it and keep putting it in until I get the consistency where it is, usually they say about 160 degrees, or that you could easily pour it.
And while she's doing that, I am going to cut up our loofahs. I have heard that they are hard to cut, so using a serrated knife. Okay, so this one doesn't have a lot of the inside of it. Got a good little scrubber there. And the interesting thing, it smells like breakfast cereal that we used to eat, and they were like pillows. I want to say Weetabix, but it's not Weetabix. They were like pillows, or they were round. I can't think what the name is. Take our wet one. Some get down when they're going to cut them.
Are you finding it easier to cut with the wet or easier to cut with the dry?
It's about the same.
Okay.
Not as noisy.
No.
Oh, and this has still got a little seed in it. I think I'm cutting mine about 1.5 to 2 inches each.
Getting quite liquidy. There's still some lumps, so I still need to keep going, but we're getting into the space that we can start adding things.
I've left these 2 pieces here. They're, you know, they're not very big. I could actually cut them in maybe 2. So we have the loofahs that we're going to add soap to. This one still has some of the black molds. I'm just going to actually cut that off.
In preparation for getting the loofahs in, I'm going to use our alcohol again and do a quick spray.
I'm going to be using Young Living lavender essential oil, and because I grew some lavender, we're going to sprinkle.
Okay.
We don't know how much soap we have here.
How much lavender do you want in them? Like a good
Yeah, just
covering?
Yeah, then it'll have a nice
top.
coating. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that smells nice.
it does. I like it when it's the natural scent.
And then we'll add in our sponges.
They look so good.
How much essential oil?
Maybe like 15 drops. And just give it a nice little stir with the spatula there. And we're not adding any colorants or mica or anything like that, but you can if you want to make it a specialized soap. But we're gardeners. This is to scrub our hands and our bodies of the dirt, of the toil and the sweat and the zucchini.
All right. Let me smell that. That smells good. I think almost I would want to put a bit.
Oh yeah. That could do more.
Do we need a funnel or anything?
Nope, you just go ahead and pour.
So I'm just going to go just to the top.
Still trying to come up.
water's coming up through the holes.
Which is nice, and it's dispersed a little bit more.
Right.
I think we'll get 4. Yeah. Ylang ylang is pretty strong, so I'm only going to put in 15 drops for this one. These ones are dry, so I think they'll probably need a little bit more soap added to them because it'll start absorbing.
And now we're just gonna let them sit. If we needed them to harden faster, we'd put them into the refrigerator, but otherwise we can just let these kind of sit and harden. And the great thing about the silicone mold is we'll be able to get them out of here very quickly.
We don't see any bubbles or anything like that, right?
No, I don't see any.
But if we saw bubbles, then we could just spray a little bit of alcohol on top and that'll dissipate the bubble.
Exactly. They're so cool. I love how like some of it has it suspended.
Inside.
Yeah.
So there are our 10 soaps that we made. 4 ylang ylang and 6 lavender.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed going on this adventure of us making soap with loofahs for the first time. And I hope that you will click that subscribe button and that you will join me on my next adventure. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care. God bless. Are our 10 soaps that we made. 4 ylang ylang and 6 avocado.
That was the word that came to my mind. Fresh avocado.
So I hope you will subscribe to my channel, and what else would they see? So I hope you will subscribe to my channel. So I hope you will subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with all the fun adventures that we try out.
I'm gonna do it one more time. Adventures. Well, I don't know if I really want to be podunking in the background.
Anyway, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, and I look forward to seeing you on that next video. Take care. God bless.
Little chicken. What you doing, little chicken? Leaving little poops around.